All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're taking a close look at one of Southeast Asia's most famous long-stay visas, the Malaysia My Second Home program. Why now? Well, it's just been completely overhauled, and we're going to break down exactly what's new.
So, have you ever pictured yourself waking up to a view like this? A place where you've got these incredible, peaceful sunrises over the water, but you're also just minutes away from the energy of a really dynamic, modern city. That's the dream Malaysia's offering, and honestly, for a lot of people, it's a dream they're turning into a reality. But what does that Malaysian dream actually look like? I mean, it's more than just a pretty postcard, right? It's this really compelling mix of incredible nature, sleek modernity, and just plain practicality that makes it such a hotspot for people looking to live abroad. If you're an outdoors person, Malaysia is, well, it's basically a paradise. It's one of the most biodiverse spots on the entire planet. One day, you could be exploring these ancient rainforests, spotting unique animals like the proboscis monkey. And the next, you could be diving into these unbelievable underwater worlds, swimming with huge schools of fish and places like Sipadan Island. It's incredible. And what's amazing is that all that natural wonder sits right next to a genuinely world-class capital city. Kuala Lumpur has fantastic infrastructure. We're talking everything from a top-notch airport to that iconic skyline. It really feels like a major hub in Asia. But it's the day-to-day stuff that really seals the deal for a lot of people. The country is stable. It has excellent, and I mean really affordable private healthcare and great international schools. On top of that, just living here is pretty easy. The cost of living is surprisingly low, English is spoken everywhere, and the culture is famously safe, welcoming, and incredibly diverse. Okay, so that's the picture. How do you actually make it happen? Well, the official key, the pathway to living there, is the Malaysia My Second Home program, or MM2H for short. So let's get into how this thing actually works. So what is it really? Think of it like this. The MM2H program gives you a special long-term visa to live in Malaysia. It's not about becoming a citizen. It's a renewable pass that lets you and your family call Malaysia home for a long, long time, and you can come and go as much as you want. Now, this is the big one. The government just completely revamped the program. The old system? Gone. They've brought in a brand new 3-tiered system: platinum, gold, and silver. And trust me, this changes the game for anyone thinking about applying.
This is probably the most important part of what we're talking about today. We're going to break down these 3 new tiers piece by piece so you can see exactly what each one asks of you and what you get in return.
But before we even dive into the full comparison chart, just take a look at this number: $1 million. That's the required deposit for the new top tier. And right away, that tells you there's been a huge shift in who this program is aiming for. Okay, so here's how it all shakes out. The silver tier needs a $150,000 deposit for a 5-year pass. Then you jump up to gold, $500,000 for 15 years. And then there's platinum, with that full $1 million deposit giving you a 20-year pass. Notice how the minimum property value you have to buy also goes up with each tier? But look at that bottom row. That is the real game changer. Only the platinum tier gives you the right to work or start a business. And speaking of property, this is a massive change. Under these new rules, no matter which tier you're in, you have to buy a home in Malaysia. It's not an option anymore. And what's more, you have to hold on to that property for at least a decade. It's pretty clear the government wants people who are genuinely invested in making Malaysia a real second home, not just a temporary stop. Now, one of the best parts of this program has always been how it treats family. You can bring your spouse and kids, of course, but you can also bring your parents and even your parents-in-law. The rules for kids are super generous, too. The only catch here? If you want to bring a foreign domestic helper, that's a perk reserved only for those in the platinum category. All right, so we've covered the requirements, but what about the actual application? It can look a little complicated on paper, but really, it just boils down to 4 main steps. So here's the journey. Step 1, you have to use a government-licensed MM2H agent. You can't just apply by yourself. Step 2, they submit everything for you. Once you get conditional approval, the clock starts ticking. You've got 90 days to get your fixed deposit sorted, get your medical report, and get health insurance. And finally, step 4. Once you've checked all the boxes and paid the fees, you get your pass. And just like that, welcome to your second home.
So, when you put it all together, is this move still the right one for you? Let's just quickly recap the absolute most important takeaways from this new MM2H program.
Let's boil it down. First, the financial bar is obviously way, way higher now. Second, that mandatory property purchase really signals a shift towards long-term commitment. But on the plus side, they got rid of that complicated offshore income requirement, which is a relief. And for the first time, there's a clear path for professionals to actually work and invest in the country if they go for the platinum tier.
And that kind of brings us right back to where we started, doesn't it? The lifestyle, that amazing blend of culture, nature, and modern living, that's what Malaysia offers. The new MM2H program is now simply the key to unlock it, and that key has been redesigned for a very different kind of resident. Look, there's no doubt the program is more exclusive now. It's more demanding. For the people who can meet these new requirements, it offers a really secure, really long-term, and potentially incredibly rewarding life in a truly remarkable country. So the question really is for you. Which one of these keys, silver, gold, or platinum, is the one that might unlock your second home?